Cheers! Welcome to Spirits on the Rocks.
We're sassy, we're spooky, but we're definitely spiritual.
Hey. Hey, Ashley.
Hey, Chris.
How have you been? How's your last 2 weeks been?
Oh, well, I did get to come see you.
You did?
Putnam, 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee.
25th annual. No, copyright. Anyway.
But I feel like you own the role of Coney Bear now.
Leaf Coney
Leaf
Bear.
Coney Bear. I was about to say Luke, and I knew it wasn't Luke. So you own that role now. So I feel like you should get to say it because I had never seen that production before, and it was so good. It's so much fun. I love that there's like improv in it, but like, my God, y'all knocked it out of the park.
Thank you. We truly captured lightning in a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad that you could see why I love that show so much and why I am willing to drive roughly an hour out of town.
Yeah.
To go do that show because it's such a good show.
Oh, itchy. I don't know why I'm so itchy tonight, guys. I think it's just perimenopause.
I am too. That's not.
If you have perimenopause, you've reached a new level of gay.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Achievement unlocked.
Honey.
Oh my God. He's so gay. He's having perimenopause. Oh my God.
Don't ask me how. It's just happening.
I don't know. I think I'm contagious. But anyway,
Yes.
what I was saying before we got sidetracked. But no, that was such a great production. And if you get to see a production of that show, go, because it is not like a traditional musical at all. It has good music in it, but like the show is so endearing and funny and interactive.
Yes. The music is good.
It is.
But the songs really, except the I Love You song.
That one
Oh my
is
God.
that one was rough. That's
Oh yeah. Yeah. So
that one will get your heart.
If you haven't seen the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, or Spelling Bee, as I've just been calling it, because that's a fucking long ass title, it just gets you with like a left hook of, oh, now I'm gonna cry.
It's very Tyler Perry in that way.
Yes, it just gets really emotional really quickly, and you're like,
Yes.
oh my God.
Yes.
But yes, it's like the music is fine, but the humor and the heart are what
Yes.
really, really makes that show like incredible. And I'm not saying the music is bad. It's been stuck in my head for the past 3 months. but
it's not like a Les Mis or a Phantom where the music is the showcase.
Yes, exactly.
It's the heart of the show that's the showcase.
Yes, exactly. The heart and the humor. It is
Mhm.
so funny. Like,
Yes.
so actually, of the 2 Tonys that musical has won, one of them was Best Book of a Musical.
Oh, I believe that.
That's how funny that show is.
Well, and y'all had such an incredible cast of people. Like, vocally were so strong, but how well entrenched you were in your characters. Nobody was acting. Everyone just became those characters fully and embodied them, and it was joyful.
I mean, you really don't have a choice with a show like that, because one thing that's actually challenging about that show is that you're on stage the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your track is not good for peeing. You are just out there. So we kind of didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Like, until your character gets eliminated, you are fully just on stage the entire musical.
Yeah.
So we kind of don't have a choice other than to embody our characters. And there was actually, like, in the rehearsal process, we kind of had to, like, figure out, okay, how much ad lib? and how much because like
Right.
at first it was like, okay, y'all are still on stage, like keep your faces active, keep,
Mhm.
keep the visual interest, fill the dead space and everything. But we also got to a point where it was like, okay, now you're talking too much. Now we need
Mhm.
to rein it back. Like it's a balancing act that we had to find of like just how much improv and
Well, y'all nailed it, and I will
thank you.
say you were so well directed. I actually
Yes.
spoke to the director after, and I told him how impressed I was, and that especially for this is a small town that put on this production, which is sort of adjacent to a much larger city
Where we live.
where we live, which is not a it's not a large city, it's a mid-sized city.
Yeah.
It's a decent sized city, and for this little like small town area to put on such an impressive production was really an accomplishment. And I said, I'm going to watch for your name because it was his directorial debut, which is even
Yes.
more impressive.
Crazy, right? That is your directorial debut. Sky's the limit, baby.
I mean,
So
he's incredible. And I told him, I said, the next time I see your name, I'm auditioning. I don't care what it is.
yeah.
And he kind of, you could tell that kind of got him. But I said, it's not just the production. One of my dear friends is in it and has been telling me along the way what it's been like. And I've just been so impressed with your process and the way that you connect with the actors and connect the actors to each other.
Yes, and the way he understands of like giving actors freedom to
Hmm.
make their own choices. And,
And y'all made some damn good choices.
thank
Some
you.
damn good choices. So,
Some of those were our own choices. Some of them were like, because like we make our own choices, but then they'd also be like, here's this bit.
hmm
Like my bit with like adjusting the microphone and everything was his
hmm
idea.
hmm
And so it's just like, here's my idea for a bit for your character, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Because there were some bits that he pitched that just kind of didn't end up working out for me,
yeah.
and
Sometimes it falls flat.
he was receptive to that of
Yeah.
like, this doesn't feel right. Like I have this idea of who my
hmm
character is, and this just doesn't feel right. He was receptive to that
Yeah.
because he has a strong background in acting, so he gets it
Yeah.
of like your character's kind of your baby, and while it is ultimately the director's vision and the director
hmm
pulling it all together, that is your character.
Well, and I
So
think that that's one thing, like the show that Robert and I did together. We didn't have just one character either. I think I played 9 and you played 11.
No, I think I played.
9/11.
Oh shit!
No. Oh.
I remember I had 9 characters and 5 different accents.
I think I had 8 characters, and each one needed its own voice, and one of them was the main villain.
Yes.
Which
Y'all were so good in that. By
that
the
one
way.
was rough.
Thank you. That it was fun though. It was like an ADHD dream
Yes,
because you got to be all these different people and
I
you
got to cross dress.
you did. You did.
It was
So did you.
So did I. I was a little boy.
it was a play called Moriarty where you have 5 actors playing every single character.
It was
Yes.
40 roles. The only 2 actors that did not change characters were the actors who played Holmes and Watson.
Yeah.
So that's 38 roles split by 3
3 people,
actors.
yeah.
So if you can imagine, these 2 were killing it. That is no small feat. That takes a lot of range.
It
To be
was
able to
fun.
pull something off like
Well, and I think that what drew me to that is it's so zany. And I am such a character actor. I just really we got to play. We really got to play. And then you throw in the fact that we did so many accents. I had a Yorkshire, I had a Cockney, I had German, I had Swiss,
that.
which I think was everyone's favorite. So it wound up being just this really fun artistic endeavor. But I think that going back to the directorial part, because our director was primarily an actor and a damn good one, he really gave us a lot of freedom. And I remember looking over in rehearsal and he would just be cracking up.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, you're supposed to be directing us, you know? And he'd be like, oh, yeah.
Right.
Because he had so much fun with it. And I think that says a lot when your director is having fun and the cast is having fun. And with very few exceptions, there were little moments of drama, as there always are. But
Yeah.
I think
we all got really close to, and we all stayed
Yeah.
really close friends.
absolutely. I think the only moment of stress for me in that show was that fucking gun.
that would never
It wouldn't
work.
fire. The
It's-
damn thing would never fire when we needed it to, and that just put us all on edge.
Yeah.
So the last 3 shows, I was using a shitty plastic gun that broke on me
Yeah.
on the second to last show, and we had to use sound effects. And on the last show, the sound effects for the gun was late, so I had to play off like it was a misfire.
Yes, I remember because that's the show that I saw was your
Yep.
last show.
And we didn't warn my daughter, who is severely autistic. She came to dress rehearsal. We didn't warn her that you shoot me.
Oh no!
She was like,
I
"Oh,
don't
no.
shoot.
Oh, no."
Well, that's the thing. I didn't shoot you, but that's what we led the audience to believe
Yes,
for a
yes.
solid
You shot
10 count.
at me, and I dramatically fall, and then I'm like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
okay. I mean, it was. I don't want to ruin it, but
You didn't recover until I was already on stage.
yeah. It was a delayed recovery,
Yep.
and it really upset her for a minute.
Oh, no.
So hey, if you're gonna take your kids to a show where there might be some acting out of injuries, warn your kids.
Yeah. It's
Just
just make
saying.
believe mommy's okay.
Absolutely.
Apparently, she started crying. I felt so terrible, and I had no idea because I'm on stage. But
Acting.
Ah,
I was acting. Yeah, that was a fun. Actually, that was wound up being one of my favorite scenes because there's this one point where I'm like basically begging Robert for mercy, and he's like this close to my face. He's like, "Go," and it was like Robert can do crazy in his eyes really well.
he doesn't have a camera on him,
No,
but
honestly, that's like the number one piece of feedback that I get from the directors is, Robert, we don't need crazy eyes.
Yeah.
We need you to back
Dial
up your
it
eyes
back.
a little bit.
But when you do need them, you nail it. I feel like we've gone down quite the theater kid rabbit hole here.
A little bit.
A little
I
bit.
mean, we started out with spelling bee,
I
so how
know.
can you not?
But you were fabulous.
Thank you.
You were fabulous. And my daughter, you kept a 13-year-old's attention the entire time.
Which, God bless.
She loved it. And I said, what was your favorite part? She goes, well, Chris. So
That's really sweet.
it was very good.
And it was
Totally not biased.
he is totally not. But it was super fun because kind of similar to what you were talking about with Moriarty, where like I was only one character, but I got to play. I was acting like a child.
oh,
and
yeah.
A very weird child at that. So
Were you a weird child, Chris?
So maybe there definitely might have been, if you know Leaf Coney Bear, might not be super far off from how I was as a child. So
Just drawing on experience for that one.
oh yeah, 100%.
I was a weird kid too. I don't feel like people who were quote unquote normal kids grow up to do this.
No, they don't grow up to do this. They don't grow up to do fucking theater.
No. That's the thing people don't understand about all these celebrities that we're like, oh my God, they're all weird ass theater kids.
They're theater kids. That's all actors are theater kids.
Everybody's
Or
always shocked.
alternatively, they were also like rich kids who got to go to acting classes.
That's true.
Yeah, a lot of them are.
But at the same time, you were a rich kid and you chose.
Acting.
Yeah, you were a rich kid, so you could have chose literally anything in the world.
And you chose
And
that.
you
kid.
chose that.
Are y'all
so-
ready for a little bit of lore, like some Robert lore here?
Yeah, always.
All right,
always.
Drop the
episode
lore,
3.
babe,
Episode 3.
drop it.
My dad went to school with Brad Pitt.
Oh my god.
Shut up.
My dad bullied Brad Pitt.
Did Brad Pitt deserve it?
He was a fucking nerdy theater kid. Of fucking course he deserved it.
Oh.
Is Brad Pitt problematic? Or do we?
No,
do we-
he's not. He's
I
just a
don't think
nerdy theater
so.
kid.
I don't think so.
You
He's
never-
actually so.
And my dad was a jock. So
Oh,
naturally,
naturally,
the
yeah.
prey.
Yeah. Very and of the time too.
Yes.
Very of the time.
Absolutely,
I feel
because
like
this was the early to mid 80s.
Oh yeah, theater was not cool in the 80s.
No.
It's theater's cool now.
we've seen The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But well, I mean, also with like the death of monoculture, it's like everybody kind of has their own
Right.
thing going on. So
Right.
whatever it is you're into is gonna be cool because everybody kind of has
I
their own
feel
thing going
like
on
it's-
now. But
It's very Find Your Grail.
Find
your
grail. Fucking sue us. I don't care.
I feel like if anybody's gonna be chill about it, it'll be John Cleese, right?
Yeah. But also, to be fair, I've seen, not to bring it back to spelling bee, but
Everything's about spelling bee.
I have seen so many productions of Spelling Bee on YouTube. It's like I don't think they really care.
No. I think
I've seen
that
a lot of productions of Spelling Bee on YouTube.
they're not Disney.
And I which helped informed my character choices because I saw a lot of what I did not want to do.
Oh, yeah, that's helpful.
Well, especially with the character that I was playing, like it's really easy to be cringy
And
like
campy.
I kind of had a bit of a fine line to walk of like not just being like duh. So
Well, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. That was definitely a highlight of my week. My last few weeks have been a little crazy. We have a dear friend who their whole family came down with this
so bad for her.
horrific stomach virus, which originated. I am pretty sure with that fish that they ate because
because our other friend who also ate that fish
got sick. And that's how norovirus is transmitted. I'm 99% sure they had norovirus. Her husband didn't get sick until he got home and touched the same surfaces.
And norovirus.
Back it up. Try again.
Norovirus is very contagious. Like,
It is, but you have to understand. Okay, now I'm going to be a nurse nerd, infection control nerd because I did infection control.
okay.
That's been one of my many hats I've worn. So with infection control, you have to understand transmission routes, and that is transmitted through the grossest sounding possible route, which is the fecal.
Feces, baby.
It's the fecal oral route.
Yeah.
So anything like it has to pass through your digestive tract, and you have to actually make contact with it, and it has to enter your digestive tract. And so that can happen if you've touched a surface like where, like somebody has been sick or whatever, and like you touch that surface and then maybe not thinking wipe your mouth or whatever. That's how you get sick. And so anyway, our dear friends got very, very sick. And she actually wound up having a seizure because she got dehydrated. So I was at the hospital with her, and one night and then another night we scooped up their kids and brought them here, and so it was crazy. But I was so thankful in that moment that I'm at a place in my life where I could do that, because
absolutely.
there are times that I've needed other people to do that for me, and like what an amazing opportunity to pass forward what's been done for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Diana, if you're watching this, I'm talking about you. You're the one that did that for me over and over and over. So
Thanks, Diana.
Thanks,
I've never met you,
Diana.
but you probably rock.
she does rock. She's pretty freaking awesome. So, but anyway, oh, well, I don't know about you, but after a week like that, highs and lows, I could use a drink.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely battling some post-show blues right now, so I could definitely use a drink as well.
Yeah.
So do you want to work your magic and get me some ingredients?
I think I can make that happen.
All right.
Will that do?
I think so.
All right, Chris. What are we drinking?
So tonight we're drinking a cocktail that I have invented.
A Chris original?
Yes, and I'm actually really proud of this one.
Okay.
So it is called Nessie Nectar, if that's any clue as to what tonight's theme is. So,
I'm so excited.
since the Loch Ness Monster lives in a lake, I got ingredients to make this drink look like murky lake water.
Oh, yummy.
So, I know, delicious, right? It's honestly gonna look maybe a little gross, but that's the point. And it tastes delicious.
I
So,
trust you.
all right. So we're gonna start out with our Wild Turkey 101 rye whiskey. Rye is really good in cocktails because it has a little bit of spice
Oh.
that bourbon does not. Bourbon's on the sweeter side because it's made with more corn.
And just for anyone who is wondering who has food allergies, I do have celiac. We check all these ingredients to ensure that they are completely gluten-free. So if that's a concern of yours, just know any recipe you see
Yes,
here.
we do. We happen to check these ingredients after I bought them. So I'm really glad that it worked out, because I mean, I was in the parking lot of the ABC.
It's
so
fine.
We could
It's
have,
fine.
but
It's fine.
yeah. Anyway, so we're doing 1.5 ounces of that of rye whiskey. This is the one that I chose, but an ounce and a half of that. 3/4 of an ounce of Midori, which is a melon liqueur. You'll notice we're using lots of browns and greens to get that kind of murkiness. So that's why I went with whiskey. We're gonna do just 1/4 ounce of Frangelico, which is a hazelnut liqueur.
It's so good.
It's so good. It is very strong. Like, there's only 1/4 ounce of this in this drink, but you taste the hazelnut. So, just a little.
Give it a little Nutella goodness in.
Okay. And then we also have my old friend, Campari. It's an Amaro, which is similar to whiskey or vodka in that that is its own category of liquor. Amaros are usually made with herbs and fruit peels and very kind of botanical.
So like a
ingredients.
Pimm's type deal. Would that be an Amaro?
I have no idea, actually.
I just learned what this was last week, and I thought I was going to be like in the know, but
Like think like Campari, Aperol, Cynar, Amaro Montenegro. Like those are your
bless you.
Those are your classics. But yes, so Campari, we're only doing 1/4 ounce of Campari, because I don't want too much of that red color. I'm not even using the Campari for its color. I'm using it because I wanted to add a little bit of bitterness. Campari is very bitter. So I wanted to get a little bit of bitterness just to help add a little bit of complexity of flavor.
Now, what's something you would traditionally use Campari in? Because I think I know, but I'm afraid I'm going to be wrong.
So Campari is probably best well known for a Negroni.
Negroni.
Yeah!
Yes!
Nailed it.
I knew it.
So yes, Negroni has Campari. Same with a Boulevardier.
Okay.
A Boulevardier is a Negroni, but made with rye whiskey instead.
Okay.
So
Spagliato with Prosecco.
Which Spagliato just means with Prosecco, so we're being redundant. But anyway.
But I thought that the distinction was Spagliato was with champagne, but she liked Prosecco instead of champagne.
Sure.
I don't know. That's what a very pretentious blog I read said.
Oh, of course.
It was a pinky up kind of blog.
So that's our liquors. And then we're going to do 3/4 of an ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice. We're going to do 1/2 an ounce of simple syrup. And we're going to kind of get the sediments to reincorporate in this organic pineapple juice. And we're going to do 1/2 an ounce of that. And our pineapple juice and our lemon juice are helping to give us that cloudiness of that lake water. All right. And then we're going to add some ice to our shaker. And I still hate using tongs with a passion, but it's what we got. So
You and these tongs have like an ongoing
feud. Yes.
Yes, feud. That's the word I was looking for. Feud.
My first thought was love-hate relationship, but there's no love there. Okay.
At least you're being real about it. Now we shake a shaker.
Shaker. Usually shaking until your shaker tins are like frosted is usually.
So don't use crappy plastic shakers is what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I'm just making sure.
The Boston shaker where you have the two different sizes of cup is like the standard.
That smells really good. I just got a whiff and it smells really good.
It's really good. This is a really good drink, if I do say so myself. All right, so and then you're gonna strain into our rocks glass. Ooh, yummy, yum, murky.
But I don't know, like it just to me it's looking almost like it's like lake water meets creamsicle, so could it be that bad?
I'll take it.
All right, so you shook it with the ice, correct?
Yes, and I strained out that ice.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put some fresh ice into our glass. And then the best part is the garnish. I took a honeydew and I cut a little Loch Ness monster out of the honeydew We stabbed a little clove in to make an eye, which was Ashley's idea, actually. So thank you, Ashley. And then we just slipped that right in, and it looks like the Loch Ness Monster's coming out of your little lake.
It's so cute. I'm so excited. I have not tasted this yet. The only contribution I made was to the garnish.
Oh, so you haven't tasted this yet, have you?
I haven't.
It's really good.
Okay. Did you make one for you?
Well, not yet, but...
Here, let me help you out.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's good. I'm not a whiskey girl, and that's good.
Thank you. It's got some spice from the rye. It's got some bitter from the Campari. It's got your hazelnut.
And every sip hits you a little different.
Yeah.
It's like you're getting a different note.
I'm very proud of this cocktail.
You should be.
Thank you.
It's very, very good. Oh, and I'm kind of obsessed with the little Nessie.
I know little Nessie hanging out.
She's so cute.
Her.
Oh, that's a sipper. That's a sipper. That's good. You done well.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'll do, pig. That'll do.
do. All right. Ashley, why are we drinking?
Well, today we're drinking because there's a lot of critters running around that we just can't quite identify
Okay.
or even agree if they exist. That's right. We're talking about cryptids today.
Yes, we are. That's why I went with our little friend Nessie here.
And she is so cute. But we're not going to actually be talking about Nessie today. We're going to touch on mostly those in North America.
Okay.
And there's a few that you definitely have heard of, but there's a few that you probably have not heard of.
I'm not up to date on all the latest cryptid news, so definitely not.
Well, that's why you have me in your life, Chris.
Yes, it is.
So if we're going to talk cryptids, obviously we have to start at the top. We're talking about Sasquatch, Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if you've seen it, but there's actually an episode of this Monster Hunters show where Jeff Goldblum
What?
goes hunting for Nessie with Greg and Dana Newkirk.
That's everything.
It is great. It is so great. And I really enjoyed Greg and Dana's podcast, the Haunted Objects podcast. They have this like paranormal museum that travels with them. Yes, I have tried to get tickets to their show. No, I can never manage to make it work when they're close enough to me. It's happening one day. But they do this whole episode. It's on Disney Plus. I highly recommend you check it out. It is so great. But Bigfoot, we're all kind of familiar with Bigfoot, right? We know ape-like body, bipedal, covered in dark hair. It's supposed to be very stinky. He stands really tall. We're talking like 6 to 9 feet, depending on who you're asking.
I just remember, I forget which comic, but there's that stand-up comic of like, who has that bit of talking about that show Finding Bigfoot,
Yes.
where it's like 40 minutes of like, oh, maybe next week we'll almost see something.
I know. And it makes for great television, but there is some very compelling evidence. This one to me, really, what gets me about this is there's a lot that points to it being possible. Like there's indigenous tales of like the wild men that way predates our understanding of Bigfoot. And there are parallels around the world. Like in the Himalayas, you have the legend of the Yeti, which sounds exactly like Bigfoot, but instead of being covered in dark hair, it's more like white hair that blends in with the snow.
Right.
There's the Yowie in Australia, which is almost exactly the same as Bigfoot. But there's just so much to it, and there's such a long history that, predates our white people just wanting to find something creepy sensibilities.
Right.
That there's got to be some there, right? There's got to be some there. So
Some there?
Some there. So you've got a lot of very famous sightings that people tend to know. Like in 1924, there were miners in Ape Canyon, which is up in Washington, very remote, and they claimed that there was an attack on their cabin by ape men. Now, obviously, we don't really have any evidence from this because it was 1924. I mean, they weren't carrying around iPhones. In 1955, there was a man named Hunter William Rowe, and he was up in British Columbia, and he actually saw what he described as a 6-foot, partly human, partly animal creature. And his description fit the same thing that they heard in 1924 about sort of like an ape man. And this was kind of like the first, I'd say, really well-known account, because in 1955, obviously media is becoming more prevalent.
Right.
But in 1967, this is when it like really takes off, because you have the iconic Patterson-Gimlin film, which was taken in Bluff Creek, California.
So it's called Bluff Creek.
Okay.
So you can't just have like a man in a costume.
There's a lot of speculation on this one. Obviously, a lot of people say, "Oh, this is a costume. This is a costume."
Yeah, that one is almost confirmed to be a hoax.
It is very widely believed to be a hoax. Obviously, there are a lot of people who still contend that it very much could be a real piece of footage. The bottom line is, it was 1967, so
A lot easier to fake back in those days.
It
when
was.
I kind of the same thing when I was talking about orbs and stuff in a
Mhm.
previous episode, where it's like weird smudges and UFO sightings were
Mhm.
just because of outdated technology.
Right. And it is much
Back in the
easier
day.
to dispel whether something is genuine or not with a more modern photo. But, you know,
Have there been modern sightings, or is this all
well, maybe don't get ahead of yourself.
20th century?
Actually, well, if you're saying 20th century, this is still 20th century. This is early 80s. My family actually has a run-in with what they report to be Bigfoot.
Really?
This happens in like Oklahoma as well, which is not known to be bear country.
Mm-mm.
So my dad's cousin, I think it was out for a drive, middle of the night. He sees something on the road, big, hairy, standing on 2 legs, probably 9 or 10 foot tall. And it starts chasing after
I'm
him
so
in this
sorry.
car.
Excuse me.
You're good. It starts chasing after him in this car, and it catches up to him, and it demolishes this poor guy's car.
Oh my gosh.
To the point where like he had to get a new car, and he was terrified the entire time. He didn't get a good look at it. But
no one ever gets a good fucking look at these
but here's the thing.
stories.
Are you gonna get a good look at something when you're trying to run the fuck away from it?
That is exactly what I was about to say. And I do think that because fear plays a role in these, we're not thinking clearly enough to get good footage. We're not thinking clearly enough. And the hubris of us humans to assume that it can't exist simply because we haven't discovered it yet.
Oh,
Right.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist because we haven't discovered it yet. There's so many different parts of our own planet. I mean, like, what, 84% of the ocean that we haven't explored?
Oh, babe,
Like,
Probably more than that.
We've
It's like-
only explored like 5%.
Yeah, it's like 95% of the ocean. It's 85% of the rainforest.
Yes.
rainforest.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Now,
we've never even seen.
right. And now I will to finish out the story. There was like dark brown fur, gashes in the hood of the car, and the entire site smelled of like wet animal.
Is that
The counterpoint to this is, where is it in the fossil record? How have we not found remains? How have we not found droppings?
so that's kind of been my critique that I've kind of been holding on to, is like, while there is a lot of things that we don't know about, like rainforests, and there are a lot of like you said, just because it hasn't been discovered by humans doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But we have a pretty good idea of what's going on in North America as far as wildlife goes.
I would disagree. There is so much. I don't know how familiar you are with our national parks, but the forest is incredibly dense. It is not thoroughly explored. I have a friend who's actually a park ranger.
Yeah.
And one of the things that she has told me is people assume that these rangers know every inch of these forests. She's like, we do not.
Really?
It's not possible. They're so big and so wild. And that's the point, is to leave them wild.
And
Right.
so worth protecting.
Oh, 100%. But
Protect our national forests. Protect our national wildlife refuges. So there's a lot of evidence that is brought forward, which I think is really interesting. And so some of this is like you've heard of like the Bigfoot casts, right? They're like casts of feet this big, and they are definitely bipedal humanoid feet,
right.
and they're very consistent, and not just in the Pac Northwest, not just in the Appalachian area, which is another area where they've been identified, but also in other parts of the world. This is something that's happened multiple times, and so you've got that evidence. And in addition to the Patterson Gimlin film, you've got a lot of audio recordings. Have you ever heard these audio recordings?
No.
I really should have prepared some for you. They are terrifying as these whoops and these hollers that don't sound quite human, and definitely don't sound quite ape. And they're very distinct. There's actually footage that I heard on one podcast, Necronomipod, which I reference all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
but they brought some audio that was absolutely very compelling. Can we loop that in here?
Here's the audio for you right now.
Do you want me to play it for you real quick?
Sure.
So this is what it's called, like the Sierra sounds or something like that. Here, let's listen to this audio real quick.
Ooh. Like,
Okay, so you get the gist.
yeah, I get the
All right.
gist.
So what you're hearing in that is like the sound that sounds like it's right next to the microphones, because it is. This guy was trying to call back to them, and what you hear, it's been dissected, and they're saying it sounds almost like language. Like it's not just whoops and hollers. It's almost like it's somewhere between just animal sounds and language, which I find very interesting.
I'm not so sure.
Well, there's another theory that is definitely worth considering that I think a lot of people consider to be more viable than a separate species, and that is the feral people theory.
I mean, there are like documented cases of that in the Appalachian.
Oh, have you seen that episode of Soft White Underbelly where he goes in and speaks with the family, and these people don't really, some of them, some of it is due to inbreeding. It's very sad.
Right.
It's actually, he's very respectful in the way that he approaches it, but
I haven't seen that episode, but I know like that is a thing of like, for a lot of people, it's like, hey, you like don't really want to talk to these people,
right?
Because it could be dangerous.
Yes.
So I definitely think, you know, especially if we're super deep into some like undocumented woods, I absolutely would believe that there'd be some feral people, and you know, maybe some unidentified species.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, and I think that something like there's the one of the things that is so consistent with Bigfoot is the size, how big it is, that it's between 6 and 9 feet tall. It's massive. It's very much consistent with a primate. It is the footprint detail is very consistent, and that you're getting this from very experienced outdoorsmen. I mean, generally, these are not the types of people who are going to be prone to exaggeration. These very experienced, like hardcore outdoors types, they are like Bear Grylls types. they're much more interested in like facts and reality and like
Right.
being hardcore. So a lot of them actually are reluctant to report because they fear that they are going to be ridiculed or that they will not be taken seriously as an outdoorsman. So I think that those factors for me lend a lot of credence to the fact that there is something out there that we don't yet understand.
Oh yeah. There very well could be some sort of primate
Mhm.
species that has evolved out in the far woods. I do, where are the fossils? Where are the droppings?
Right.
Where are other evidence other than unidentified hair?
Right. Okay.
Because that could be from anything big or small.
Well, but if you have hair that's not showing DNA that matches any species, wouldn't that lend credence to the fact that it is a species we don't yet understand?
Oh yeah, and I 100% agree with you. And I don't know that there is this monolith Bigfoot.
I agree with that. I would say that there's
I
probably multiple species we
Yes,
don't yet
there's
understand.
probably, yeah, there's so much nature. There's so many things that we don't understand about our planet.
Maybe an entire like genus or family. I can't remember. It's like family, genus, species.
Oh,
What's the acronym? Oh my
I'm
God.
trying to think.
It's been so long since I did
'Cause
this.
Kingdom, domain, kingdom, phylum,
Kingdom, domain, phylum,
Order.
order, class,
class,
genus.
family,
Family,
genus, species.
Class, family, genus, species. Yeah. So there very well could be like a genus or family that we have not yet identified
Yeah, absolutely.
that could encompass all of these things. And then there is also the possibility that some of these sightings are feral people. They don't all have to be one thing. I agree that it's not maybe a monolithic
And I
explanation.
also, it is possible that the audio could be a hoax.
It's possible, but there's so much of it from so many sources.
I mean, the specific audio that we listened to.
Possibly, but
I-
this one is the one that is considered most widely to be the most reliable because, again, of the credibility of those who
Right.
recorded it.
But
They were not searching for Bigfoot, by the way.
I actually think that the theory that those whoops were some form of language actually really helps support the feral human theory,
I agree.
because you're out in the woods, you're not having contact with, like, quote unquote civilized humanity,
Right.
but we still have that facility for language, so you're gonna make that up in any way you can. I actually really think that if any sort of analysis to call that language has any sort of merit to it, I think that really supports like a feral human.
I think that in a lot of
And-
cases you're right, but I do want to point out, have you seen the videos
Probably
of
not.
Well, I was just going to say of like Jane Goodall or others who communicate with primates, they do basically have some form of language. So I think it really could be either or both.
Yeah, it's probably both.
I would agree.
I
I
think
think you're right.
I think we want to just say it's Bigfoot because we want to like categorize this and like give it a clear like name and label
Sure.
for something
sure.
that we just don't
Makes a lot of
fully
sense.
which honestly, I feel like you could say that about a lot of paranormal things, is
Yeah.
people trying to give a definition and a label to things that they don't fully understand.
We want everything to fit in a box. And
We
then
do,
and then we discovered quantum physics.
yeah, and there is no box. There is only chaos.
As a chaos magician, I agree. I agree. So, should we move on to the next one?
Sure.
All right, so the next one is one of my favorites, and there's a really great movie about it. It is The Mothman.
It makes me think of Mothra,
Oh, hey.
which is one of my favorite kaijus, which we were talking about kaiju
Yes, I
before we started
learned
rolling.
learned
But
what that meant.
I'm a bit of a kaiju nerd myself,
Okay.
and I love Mothra is my queen. I love her.
So Mothman is really interesting because he's very kind of specifically regional, mostly in Ohio and West Virginia.
Okay.
But Mothman is believed to be this winged humanoid creature, and generally, he's pretty specific to this place called Point Pleasant in West Virginia. And they actually have this Mothman statue in their
Okay.
town square. It's like a big thing. People venture to go see it. Is it on my bucket list? Yes, it is. But what's really interesting about Mothman is he was really seen in about a 1-year period from 1966 to 1967, and then has had sort of sporadic sightings over the years, but it was really in this short time frame that there were most of the sightings. And again, this is a large creature described as like 6, maybe 7 feet tall, large wings, glowing red eyes, sometimes sort of gliding or flying, but not always. Sometimes was seen walking. But the first major sighting that came up was in like November 15th of 1966. And there were 2 couples that were hanging out near this abandoned munition site. They were very young. It sounds like they were kind of being sort of mischievous, like, because why are you hanging out near a munition site unless you're up to some nonsense? But
They're fucking.
it's well, there were 2 couples, so maybe
Hey.
it's a party. I'm just saying. It might be that kind of party. But basically they saw this giant winged creature that looked like a man swoop towards them multiple times, and the press of course had a field day with it.
Of course.
They ran with it. Couple see man-sized bird creature something. That's literally the headline verbatim, by the way. But in the next year there were like over 100 sightings in this one small area, and that's what is so interesting to me. It's this one small area, 1 year. And very often the creature was described as like chasing cars, like not like actually engaging directly with people, not like Bigfoot where people are like, oh, we see this off in the distance, like actually engaging, hovering, gliding, making like these bird sounds. Like it was like not like whoops, but like sort of like a call. And I don't know if you've seen the movie with
Probably not.
okay. All right. Well, I forget that I am like a decade older than y'all.
Oh, I also
You're talking about Mothman Prophecies?
Yes.
I just
Very good movie.
also don't really watch movies, so
I know. But the sheer number of sightings, and some of which were before the action. What's interesting to me is some of the sightings for Mothman came out before the major headline came out. So there were multiple sightings before the headline was published.
okay, because honestly, one of my things was it all happened so quickly, and in this 1 year, I'm sure there were a lot of people who were like, oh yeah, I'll get my fucking name in the paper, let's go.
Sure, because what else is going on in Point Pleasant, West
Yeah.
Virginia? I
In
mean,
the 60s, like
in the 60s. Let's be real about it. But like, there's like one quote about it that I think is really interesting is this gentleman said that it was like a man with wings. Not like anything you'd see on TV or a monster in a movie. It was very distinct. And the Mothman prophecies, it obviously takes some liberties, and it goes into much more of, a great tragedy on the river Ohio. But there are accounts of where people were saying that they would see Mothman before something happened, and there was a bridge collapse on the Ohio River right after Mothman was spotted. So there is some lore to that. But Mothman is so specifically regional and time constrained, but it also makes you wonder, a man with wings, they're near an old munitions factory. Was that a munitions factory or a black site?
A what?
Think Area 51.
Oh, okay.
Was this some sort of government testing for military gear?
Oh, absolutely. A man in a wingsuit.
That looks like talking to me.
No, especially a specific year. No, I'm sure they were trying out some shit that's probably still classified.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that
I know that, like, I generally tend to very much believe in these sorts of things. I am more of the open mind, but I fully believe that Mothman, the most reasonable explanation is that this was some sort of testing of something. And because this quote unquote munitions factory, I mean, it was shut down. And first of all, it didn't immediately become a Spirit Halloween. So, you know, something's up. But I do think it makes a lot of sense because they're like, and if you look in the initial report, they're hanging around this factory, but like it was like chain link fenced off, like they weren't supposed to be there. West Virginia, there are multiple known, like quote unquote known reported black sites in West Virginia. It is, speaking of the Appalachian area, great place to hide things.
So yeah, I'm sure people were fucking around in an area they weren't supposed to be in, and so they were like, hey, get out of here, you're not supposed to be here, which is why cars were being chased.
Right,
Like
right.
that absolutely would add up.
But can we discount the fact that this is a technology that I do think it was a technology more than a cryptid,
Right.
but can we discount the fact that this is a technology that came from a species not our own that we learned from? I'm just saying.
I think that people have been obsessed with making men fly and putting wings on people forever.
It's an Icarus complex.
And it is. And so I just think that might have just been a time in the 60s where they were like, hey, maybe we could actually make this happen and give a man wings. Like I that's a tale as old as time.
And I'm pretty sure they're still working on it.
The part that we are skipping, though, is the fact that he typically is seen as a good omen. He came, like, he was trying to warn about the bridge collapse.
Yes.
Now, I will say, there is something to be said about just some guy deciding and taking it upon himself to be a public nuisance.
Yeah. Which
like, independent of the military.
Crazy genius.
Yeah. It's just some guy who decided that I am going to fuck with some kids. He enjoyed it too much, so he just continued to fuck with his community.
Oh yeah, you could say that about a lot of probably cryptid stories, possibly.
I respect the game. I do. But my theory, I really think it's military.
Oh yeah,
that is my
I can
thinking.
see that. But like, you know, there's some motherfuckers in Bigfoot costumes being like, oh, I'm gonna get like whatever. Like there's definitely some people.
I never got my main character moment, so by God,
yeah.
this is my moment.
Today's the day.
In front of the world.
No, there's that. I definitely could be a factor, but no, I think especially if there's like allegedly this winged man, that 100% sounds like some bullshit that they'd be trying to figure out, which obviously didn't work because you can't. That's not how our bodies are built to fly.
Oh, I think that we will crack that one day.
I mean, we kind of, with like those like flying squirrel suits that people skydive in, like that's basically,
Well,
I mean, you have to jump from a plane, but you're still like, basically flying.
They do have some suits that are like verging on Iron Man, but they're just extraordinarily expensive and they're not super functional. And that's what we know about. So God knows what's happening out there on the base, that we may or may not live close to a base where they're developing crazy shit.
And may or may not hear giant booms.
My house may or may not shake.
It's something.
It's something. And there's a lot of those. When you start to think about how many of those locations there are all over the country that we know about that are R&D bases, and then there's these black sites that we have. Can you imagine what they're coming up with there?
Oh yeah. No, I think about that all the time actually. Because like you'll see things declassified from like the 80s that from a modern understanding of technology are like, wow, that's crazy. Like
Yep.
the efficiency and all the different like crazy things they were doing. So it only makes you think like, well, if that seemed so advanced today in the 80s, what the fuck are they doing right now? Like what?
Oh my God. My theory, I think that most of it is human genome related and genetic manipulation related.
I can see it.
I think that's where they're headed now. That's my theory.
Ethics go out the window when DARPA dollars are involved.
Mm-hmm.
He said it. He said it. All right. So this next one is super fun. Have you ever heard the name Champ? Does that ring a bell to you?
I know there's the Queen song. We are the champion, my friend.
There's actually a Nelly song called The Champ, but we don't
Really?
talk about Nelly. He's a
Anyway,
So Champ is actually this is the cutest name for one of our cryptids. Champ is the Lake Champlain monster.
okay.
It's a monster that has been reported in the Lake Champlain area, which is up in like New York, Vermont, and even up into Quebec.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those like lakes along the northern border of the U.S. And it is often described as a long-necked serpentine plesiosaur-like with a monster with a length of 10 to 30 feet or so,
With a
humps
clove for an eye?
and and a head above water, and I don't know, maybe a clove for an eye,
Yeah, Champy is basically America's Nessie.
essentially. So this is
Okay.
Nessie nectar, but tonight it's
Champ chug.
Champ chug.
Champ chug. I'll do a champ chug.
Hell yeah. Oh,
I wasn't kidding.
Damn, you went hard. Okay.
I wasn't kidding. Anyway.
I'm savoring. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, anyway, but Champ has been spotted since like the early 1800s. This is not by any stretch of the imagination a new phenomenon. In fact, I think the first sighting of Champ is like 1819. And it was recorded by a captain, like a lake boat captain.
Yeah.
And get this, his name was Captain Crumb.
That's funny.
CRUM. And so, of course, do y'all remember Our Real Monsters?
I wasn't allowed to watch it.
Crumb held his eyes like this.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
I love him. Yeah. So that's all I can think of is like this little like I'm picturing Crumb with like a little old fashioned sea captain hat being like looking for Champy. Okay, listen, it's cute to me. But
We need someone. We need a member of the art community, any artist at all, to draw that.
yes.
Please.
Captain Crumb. We need that. Captain Crumb. So anyway, so Captain Crumb, it was in July of 1819. He saw this long black serpent with a head like a seahorse. And he said that it was 187 feet long, which is like oddly specific,
I
right?
was just gonna say, yeah. Wait, you have your ruler out? Like, what's going on?
I mean, men usually do. Let's be real. But 187 feet, that is too specific. That to me, I'm like, was it 187 feet?
It's giving when you're like making something up and you get way too specific about it.
Yeah. I was watching Bailey Sari today. She was talking about somebody saying, I weigh 121 pounds. She's like, no, you don't.
In Captain Crumb's defense, he could have also been dragging a net, and he know exactly how big the net is.
Oh,
So he could have
fair.
used, let's say Champy was the length of his neck plus the length of his boat. If he knows the length
So
of
he's
both
giving
of them,
If he's giving an estimate, I could see that.
yeah,
Or converting from like a nautical measurement.
Yeah.
sure.
Or meters or what have you. Like, could.
We do math.
I like my theory better. He's making it up. Anyway.
Of course you do. But at any rate, like that's like the first recorded sighting, but there have been so many since then. Like in 1977, there was actually a photo that was taken by Sandra Mancy, which shows like basically it's essentially looks like Nessie. It's like this dark head and neck that's like rising up out of the water. And there's like they've actually done sonar and echo recordings from the lake that do suggest that there's something large and unknown swimming in there. And I don't know, can we pull up the picture of Champy?
It's on screen now.
Alrighty. Champ Lake. So here is the photo from 1977.
Huh.
It's something for sure, right?
Yeah.
It is very, very messy. And I mean, I have my theories, but I'll save them until, we kind of get through all of this. So Sandra Mancy, who's actually the one that took that photo, said that and I quote, "I knew it was real. I froze and didn't even think to take more pictures." And I kind of get that, because when you're in the moment with something, like, okay, it wasn't a river, like a lake monster, but I did the other day. I was actually at one of my senior living communities that I visit for my job, and there was a river otter in the parking lot.
Oh.
It was so cute, and I'm like scrambling to get my phone, and I wind up taking a picture of myself going, super cute picture. And I never did get a picture of this little otter. So like, I get it, because people are always like, well, how don't you get more pictures? When you're excited in the moment, it's actually really
you're
hard.
freaking out. Like, yeah, I get that.
And honestly, in 1977, cameras weren't what they are today. They weren't even what they were in the 90s, like when I was a kid. So they required a little more work to get a shot. So I don't know. That makes sense to me. That picture to me is very compelling. The lake is really deep. It's like more than 400 feet deep. It's really vast. It's got a lot of like crevasses, and like the bottom of it is very uneven and murky. And so it's really difficult to fully explore. Honestly, this photo has been reviewed by so many experts for years and years and years, and no one can discredit it. And actually, I was looking up, what some like zoologists have said, and it's very mixed, obviously, depending on how willing they are to believe, so to speak. But there are a lot of zoologists who say I can't prove that this is not an animal we haven't discovered yet.
Right.
And so that one like Nessie, I think that there is a Nessie. There is something there. We don't know what it is. I don't know if it's maybe like a plesiosaur type creature that has maybe just survived from the Mesozoic. Is it the Mesozoic? Let me look that up so I don't sound like an idiot.
I'm the wrong person to ask about that.
Hold on. I think that was the Mesozoic era. Plesiosaurus.
I will say the original Nessie photo has
Mesozoic.
cool.
Nailed it.
I'll say the original Nessie photo.
Oh, sorry.
Man?
Didn't even realize.
What the fuck, man? The original Nessie photo is almost confirmed to be a hoax, because when you see the actual full photo, it kind of just looks like a stick. Because it's much smaller than the cropped in version would have you believe.
I won't say that it's confirmed to be a hoax. There's still just too much controversy for us to say that it's confirmed to be a hoax. But I will say it is that like OG Nessie photo. It is questionable, but there've been so many since.
So my question with, there being Nessie or Champ, or, there's
They get the cutest names.
There's this one creature in this lake. Why is it just one? Why is it not like a species? Why do they not reproduce? Is there not
maybe they are
a family of them? Like, well, why is there never more than one? Like, one standalone crazy animal existing on its own with no other animals like it. If you've only ever seen one at a time, you've never seen multiples.
Well,
that makes me kind of.
You never see multiple blue whales at a time.
Yeah,
well,
but that's in the giant ocean, not in like
you see like
smaller
pods of
contained
them though.
lake.
Like you see like groups of 3 or 4, but they're usually families.
Yeah,
right, and
but,
that's very unusual. And that is an animal that we are well aware of existing and that we follow. And it's still rare to see like more than one.
It makes me question, why is it just one? That's not really how, animals are.
Well, there are a lot of species that do kind of do loner, that are kind of loners, you know, if you think about it, like humpback whales, there'll be like a single mother that goes I've watched way too much Planet Earth.
Right.
And so like there'll be like a single mother that like goes down to birth her calf like down in Antarctica because they're gluttons for punishment apparently. Like
Right, but
let me go to the ice and birth my baby. No, thank you.
that is still in the vast ocean, not in an isolated lake.
Right, but if it's an unidentified species, maybe it's behavior that we're not familiar with because it is a different species.
It could be. I just if we only ever see one,
Well, we only ever photograph one at a time.
right. But have people said they've seen multiples? Have there been stories of that?
I haven't necessarily seen it, but like I said, it could make sense that that's just that animal's behavior that they tend to kind of lone wolf it. I mean, the term lone wolf does exist for a reason.
Right, but like if they lone wolf it, how was it born? How did it survive? How has there ever been
Maybe
like a evolutionary line or like any sort of reproduction cycle of this animal
well, we
if
don't
there's
know.
only ever been one? Like that's my point. Is like
Right.
we don't.
Maybe they have like a spawning ground that they return to instinctively, like salmon do.
I will say, playing devil's advocate here. So I'm going to both sides this argument real quick.
Of
Okay.
course you are.
Side one of it is possible that Champion Nessie are real. There may be caves that they hide in. That's their breeding ground. We have been following eels for thousands of years. We still don't know how new eels are made.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We still don't know. We have tried tracking them and they just stop being tracked.
And we've dissected them.
Yeah, and we
we
still don't know.
Can't find reproductive organs.
But the other side
Which
of
is
that.
wild.
Now I'm going to flip to the other side. Same argument as we made with Sasquatch. Where's the bodies? Where's the waste? What are they eating?
And there also are like we don't necessarily know how eels reproduce. There's more than one of them.
Right, but again, this is an animal living in an environment that is almost impossible to explore. Like they have sent multiple submersibles into these lakes and you physically can't see more, like you can't see your hand in front of your face type situation.
Oh yeah. And like I get that. I just if there's never been a sighting of more than one, like
Okay.
and the way it's described of it's just Nessie, just that one little girl hanging out, like I don't know about that.
Okay, well, just tell us in the comments if you find any evidence of Champy or Nessie having a sighting of more than one at a time. Please let us know because I didn't find any. That doesn't mean they don't exist.
Right. That doesn't mean yeah. I'm just doubting because when I do, yeah. If you know anything of like some sort of possible like evolutionary line that could lead to Nessie or Champ or any of these weird ladies of the lake.
Oh, I like that. They're the ladies of the lake.
Let us know.
Yeah, and especially if you work in a field like zoology or something similar where you would have some wisdom to share, please let us know. Because this one to me is so very possible. It's so plausible.
Of the ones...
Especially since they are both so far north and they're such similar creatures. Can we check that latitude real quick, actually? Yeah. And see like how, if they're the same. Okay.
I can guarantee you that Loch Ness is way farther north than Lake Champlain.
Oh, it is, but I'm curious how many degrees they're within. How many degrees they are?
I just don't know how to spell latitude. Hold on.
Latite.
All right, so Loch Ness is at 57.32 degrees north. Now Lake Champlain.
Allegedly.
I don't believe in latitude.
Lake Champlain is at 44.5 degrees north. So there's almost a 17-degree difference there.
Yes, but they are both north of that. Is it the 35-degree line where you have that shift? The 35th parallel. I think it's the 35th parallel where you start to have the shift in climate.
Yeah.
I I could be completely wrong. Climatologists, don't come for me, but gently tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. Okay? Just be kind. So I do think that there's something to be said for that they are both north of that parallel, and that they are, they're similar. They're also, the lakes are similar, or the locks.
So yeah, like so far I will say this is, not to spoil my ranking, but this is one of the more believable ones.
There's plausibility there.
Compared to that. I just still have an issue with there only being one. That's not how my understanding of animals.
Well,
Yeah.
clearly there's at least 2 of them.
Per lake, you know what I mean, Robert.
You so cheeky.
Look, here's how I see it. I think that Nessie is real and Champy is like trying to steal her thunder. And I only say this because Nessie has a Scooby-Doo movie and Champy does not.
The Scooby-Doo metric, if you will.
Well, there's the real deciding factor, right?
Is there a Scooby-Doo?
Do you have a Scooby-Doo movie?
The Scooby-Doo metric.
The Scooby-Doo metric. Yes, I love that. Did you just make that up?
Yeah.
And it was a What's New Scooby-Doo movie as well. So that's how you know it was good.
Y'all, okay, I'm remembering now that y'all are literally the exact same age as my cousin that I babysat. And he was, when I tell you, obsessed with Scooby-Doo. Oh my gosh, that's all the kid would talk about. And so I can't tell you how many times I watched Scooby-Doo in the Ghoul School. That is when I think military time really clicked for me, because Shaggy goes, 1,500 hours, we've got plenty of time. And Shaggy's like, no, that means 3 o'clock. And literally, when I'm having to use military time, because in my job in nursing, we use military time a lot, I will go 1,500 hours, 3 o'clock, and I'll count from there.
I can make it
and I'm
easier for
40.
you. It's whatever number you said minus 12.
Oh, I know. Or like if it's PM or whatever, I just add 2. Like I know that. But my brain still goes to that.
Same. Well, same.
Core memory.
Except I know it's just minus 12, except my brain just goes, no.
If I have to do math, my brain's like,
numbers.
Well, that's the thing. I'm good at math. I can do like mental math. Just for some reason, military time just does not compute. I don't.
There's
get
certain
it.
types of math that do and certain types that don't. And I will tell you, like ratios, the first time that ratios actually made sense to me is when I was in nursing school doing pediatric dosage calculations and IV drip rates. And then I went, oh, because I had like a tangible reason to understand them. I didn't care how many watermelons were in the back of the truck. None of us did. None of us did. Stop writing math problems like that. We don't care about the watermelons. And we don't care about which train left the station and how long it's going to take. We don't care.
We don't. This
Well,
is
I
actually
do.
PSA.
I do, but I also like trains.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. We are a very neurodivergent friendly podcast because we do be representing.
Excuse me. Oh my God. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Oh, I was going to flick you and then I thought I shouldn't.
I'm glad you had that thought.
I stopped the intrusive thought from winning.
You were this close.
I'm a bad person.
Oh my God. You're not.
Oh no, I own this.
Hey, when it's right, it's right.
Oh my
When
gosh.
it's wrong, it's wrong.
And it was wrong. And I stopped myself. I was like, don't flick him, Ashley. That would be very unkind. So I didn't. So next we have the Beast of Bray Road.
Okay.
The Beast of Bray Road is in rural. That's such a hard word to say as a Southerner. Rural. It's in rural Wisconsin.
We don't pronounce the second R. It's just rural.
Rural Wisconsin. And it's in the Elkhorn Bray Road area. And I looked this up. It's actually just about an hour north of Chicago.
Okay.
So we're talking like southern Wisconsin, which for this Southerner is still very far north.
I'm from Florida. Everything is north to me. Where we are is north to me.
Texas is north to you.
Like,
Oh my gosh, yeah. So rural Wisconsin, And this originated in like the late 1980s, like early 1990s. So the Beast of Bray Road, the way it's described is like this wolf-headed biped, sort of like, think like werewolf,
Okay.
right? It stands about 6 to 7 feet tall, has shaggy fur, pointed ears, claws, glowing eyes.
Ooh.
Ooh. I misspoke when I said the origins were in the late 80s to the early 90s. That's really more like when the majority of the sightings were.
Okay.
But the origins are actually, they go back to like 1936. There was a night watchman in Jefferson, Wisconsin, and he kept seeing this creature digging in an Indian mound area. So it sounds like where he was working, the area he was guarding, like there was an Indian mound close by. And he called it this brown, hairy creature that stood on 2 legs.
It's kind of giving Bigfoot.
A little bit, but the descriptions of this are more wolf-like, thinner, more kind of like lanky limbs is kind of the way that I'm understanding it to be described.
Right.
So
I
a
mean,
little different.
I mean, it's kind of giving Bigfoot in that, like, this is probably just some creatures that haven't been discovered.
Probably.
That have a little bit more of a, localized, lankier build.
Right.
But still kind of the same vibe of like, there's probably just some creatures and maybe some exaggerated tales of people being like, whoa, what was that? And kind of building it up in their brain. Not that I'm gaslighting these people, but like...
But you're gaslighting these people. Well, no, but it does make sense. Like I've worked night shift, and sometimes there's like you have these moments where like, blah, 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 and you have to kind of like shake yourself awake. So if you're already in that state, I could see like how that would come across as like, are you really that reliable? Were you that awake? Were there shadows? I can understand that argument, but there are a lot of sightings. Like in 1989, there was a woman named Lori who would nearly hit this thing with her car. And she said it literally like stood beside the road on 2 legs and then jumped onto her trunk before sliding off. She literally called the cops. Like there's a police report about this. This is not like, oh, I just saw this one time. Like there's a documented police report on this because she actually hit this with her vehicle.
It's like my dad's cousin in Bigfoot.
Very similar. Very, very similar. And where was he? You said he was in Kansas?
It was like Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Southern Oklahoma, northern Texas, something like that.
So, and that could be an entirely separate species. I think that, honestly, for me, I agree with you. I think that most cryptids are just species that we have not cataloged yet.
Yeah.
It could also be individuals of a known species that have particular mutations.
Or diseases.
True.
Like,
Or
have you
diseases.
seen a deer with wasting disease? Oh my God, it's horrifying. Can you put that up? That's
I will
wasting
look it
disease.
up, and then if I deem it too horrifying, I will not. So
It's pretty
the
bad.
viewers will know. The viewers will know if I didn't or not.
Insert picture here or not.
Trigger warning, this is disgusting and horrifying, but this is wasting disease. Ugh.
Oh no. I see it right now.
All right, moving on.
So
I just wanted to give you something to work with in case we
I will say this does sound like my Mothman theory of it's just one guy who took it upon himself to become the local myth.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an old ass guy since the first sighting was in 1936.
Family tradition.
Family tradition.
It's a family tradition. So in 1991, there was actually a farmer who reported that there was a creature chasing a deer and leaving about like 12-inch or so long footprints around the barn. They didn't get a really good... What? Why are you smirking?
Which we know is entirely too long, but...
I
Yeah.
mean, to be fair, 12 inches is too much.
We all agree that 3 is just fine. It's perfectly... that's like actually kind of huge, right? Yeah?
Sure.
Totally.
Sure.
That part's gonna get cut. I wasn't even hot.
Oh, yeah.
Not with 3 inches, you're not. Hey!
For the record, I have measured. It is longer than that.
He's like, I've got to defend my own.
4.
7.
So 12-inch long footprints. I mean, that's a pretty big critter, right?
Too big, one could say.
I'm saying that is a lot to handle. It's more than you need to actually have to be
Way
adequate.
more.
Yeah, that's like double what you really need.
Yeah, honestly.
Really, truly. All right. So one eyewitness said it had big teeth and fangs, long claws, and pointed ears. And it looked like it was the size of an average man. But it looked right at me and didn't run. And I'm going to be honest, anytime an animal, like even if that was just an animal, and it looks at you and it doesn't run, that's when you get really concerned. Don't run, because it's going to run after you.
Right.
But like, that is scary.
That's how you know that it ain't scared of you.
Listen,
Yeah.
a possum looked at me and did that, and I was scared. Like, and then went and ran away. Don't hurt possums, by the way. Their body temp is too low to carry rabies, and they eat ticks. They are good critters, and they're very good mamas. Leave them alone.
And I kind of feel sad for possums a little bit because they have
know.
not, even in captivity, even with the best medical care, there has not been a single reported possum that has made it to 5 years old. They all die around the 4.5-year mark if they live that long.
Well, possums, they are good little babies. Let them do their thing. You know, they're not going to hurt you.
And they're adorable. Not that cuteness makes animals
No, they
deserve to
are.
live more, but they are adorable.
They are
Yeah,
adorable.
because cows are cute too, but I'll eat calf liver
cows
all
are
day long.
Adorable and beautiful. I will eat all of their products. Thank you very much.
I won't, but only because my throat will close.
Yeah, only because your body rejects it.
Yeah.
I'll eat the cow tongue for you.
Thank you. Alpha gal, Google it. It sucks. So at any rate, you've got this wolf thing looking at you. It's not running. I don't know about you. I would be shitting my pants.
Oh yeah.
Of course, the problem that I have is I'm fight, flight, or freeze. I'm all fight. So I'm fucked.
Yeah.
I'm going to die because I'm going to try and fight this thing. Not that that is what I consciously want, but my autonomic nervous system sure does. So, yeah. But anyway, it looked right at him. It didn't go anywhere. So there is some evidence that has been collected, like the large footprints. There have been casts. There have been measurements of the footprints. The roadside encounters, like I said, there was the one lady who hit it with her car, and there's a police report for it. And there's just so many descriptions from independent witnesses, some of which are very credible, very upstanding citizens, people that you would not expect to make something up. So, you know, this is one, it's not as well known, which is part of why I wanted to bring it up. Like everybody knows Bigfoot, but not everybody knows the Beast of Bray Road. Like that's a deep cut. And I just thought this was so interesting because where did the werewolf lore come from? It had to come from somewhere. Lore always comes from somewhere. If you listen to Aaron Mahnke, you know this.
I don't.
Shout out to Aaron Mahnke.
I think the legend of like the werewolf and the wolfman go back a little bit further because I know,
lot further.
yeah, because I know there's like this family in Scotland that like got attacked because everyone thought they were werewolves, and this was like in like the 17th or 18th century.
So you must follow Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We love you, Kenny. We love you, Kenny. He's probably one of my favorite like social media personalities, but he was talking about the loch where there was the family of werewolves, so to speak. And they're actually documented even further back than that, like into like the actual Middle Ages. There are these legends of like these wolf people. There's got to be something to it. I mean,
And even on our continent, like there's, indigenous stories, native stories of shapeshifters and spirit animals and all that sort of stuff. So
that would actually be a really great episode.
Of like
of native First Nations and some of their sort of cryptid or spirit species that they talk about, and how we've also had encounters with similar entities. If that's an episode you'd like to see, drop us a comment, let us know. I personally would really love to do that one, and I have a friend who is full Apache.
Oh, nice.
So it'd be interesting to see if that person has anything to weigh in on. And also, obviously, living in the South, I know a lot of people who have quite a bit of Cherokee heritage. So I'm sure that we can all bring something of that to the table.
Yeah.
Now, what are the nations that you encounter most in Florida that you learned about, or that you have in the area you grew up in?
Well, there were people who were part Cherokee in Florida.
Cherokee Nation was huge.
Yeah, that was a big one. I'm trying to think because we didn't really learn a lot about.
I mean,
Let me look that up really quick. Seminole.
Seminole. Oh yes, Florida State still using a First Nation as a mascot. Not cool. They're not mascots.
Apparently, the actual Seminole tribes have been like, "Hey, we don't mind."
Well, okay. All right. So, and I've wondered about this because I know that there are different nations have different
Right.
perspectives. And I think that very much depends on the relationship they've had with white Americans.
And also,
The
like,
Cherokee were done so
oh
freaking
yeah, they
dirty.
absolutely were.
Oh my God, Trail
like,
of Tears.
that's an actual tribe, the Seminoles. It's not the Redskins or the
Oh.
Indians. Like,
So there is some homage and honor being paid to
yes,
them.
and when that was a big thing of like people getting upset about mascots and stuff, they did. This is all what I heard growing up in Florida. So if it's wrong, it's wrong. But just what I had heard growing up in Florida was that there were Seminole leaders that they talked to that were like, "No, you're fine."
Interesting. If you have any like experience with that, that would be another really good thing to hear from.
Yeah, that'd be
in the
really cool to hear
comments.
about.
Yeah. I think that's a rabbit trail I'm going to go down.
Ooh, I
Actually, I'm
like it.
very interested. I have lots of rabbit trails, but that's just how I roll.
I still need to, and I will do this update in a later episode. I still need to look into that murder trial from that one girl.
Yes.
I meant to do that and I didn't, but it will coming soon, probably next episode.
We need to do like
I want to do like an update of like research that I did.
All right. This next one that we're ending strong with my favorite name. I did love Champ.
Yeah,
Champ is
fun.
the cutest. This is the most fun. The Snallygaster.
Already my favorite.
I love this name. So this is a dragon bird reptile hybrid.
Oh, let's go. Dragon bird reptile hybrid? This ain't no fucking Bigfoot bullshit anymore. All right. We're getting into it. I love this Snallygaster.
So it's reported in central Maryland, like Washington, D.C. area. And it's described as like having this like metallic beak that's lined with teeth, right? It also has tentacles.
Is this like a children's nightmare? What is happening?
Cthulhu Goose?
Yeah.
Large wings and sometimes a single eye on the forehead.
People have claimed to have seen this?
This sounds like an Egyptian god to me.
This is something that's just straight up Lovecraftian.
A little bit. Do you want to see what it looks like?
Yes. Please.
Goose Thulu, yes.
Goose
It's
Thulu.
bird Thulu. All right. So this is what the Snallygaster. That's badass, right? Are we gonna put this image up? Let's show the image.
It's
I
on
would
the screen.
That's sick as fuck.
It's so cool looking.
For our audio listeners, please describe.
Okay, so this is hard to describe, but essentially you've got this long neck that is covered in like feathers. You have these sort of T-Rex arms happening. The feet, the legs and feet are more like an eagle. And then you have this serpentine sort of tail, big eagle wings, and a single eye that comes down into like a beak. And then the tentacles are actually seem to be coming like almost like a beard under the beak.
It's like was it Davy Jones in Pirates of the Caribbean who had like the crazy tentacle beard? It's really giving Davy Jones.
But see, in one picture, it looks like the tentacles actually come out of the beak. And in another, it actually looks like the tentacles are coming up from under the beak. I prefer to think under the beak because coming out of the beak, like, how is that thing going to eat? Like, it makes no sense.
Well,
Oh.
this thing doesn't make
Maybe it's like
sense
a
in a lot of
Venus
ways, but
flytrap situation where it like reaches out and snags its
maybe.
with its tentacles. No, but then you'd have to swallow. Like,
This thing is just an abomination. It's fine.
I know, and I love it.
I love it.
I love this abomination. So,
That's what I say to myself in the mirror every day.
I love this
I love
abomination.
this abomination.
You're so close to having real affirmations. I'm so proud.
It's probably the closest we're gonna get.
Right. So the origins for this one are interesting because it was German immigrants who brought their own like folk tales to the area in like the 1730s or so. And there was like this tale of this quick spirit flying beast, which is Schnellergeist.
Okay, so Snelling. That's
Snellygaster.
the Americanized version.
I love how it's like they're like Schnellergeist and we're like Snallygaster.
Snallygaster.
It's the Snallygaster.
It reminds me of what they used to do to like Gaelic locations.
Gallic.
Yeah, even now.
Gallic. Listen, my great grandparents came through Boston as they're Finnish, and so they came through as Koivukoski, and they're like Napukowski.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, "Oh, are you Polish?" No, we're Finnish, but they just butchered the maiden name, or my grandmother's maiden name. Obviously that's not my name because it's my great grandmother, but which is of course why I have my Finnish tattoo, Sisu. If you know, you know. But anyway, so this like German folklore resurfaced like with a vengeance in the newspapers in like the early 1900s, like 1909, 1910, that era. And the newspaper reports included eyewitness accounts of flying beasts. There were like barn star symbols that people would paint to warn it off. Like on their barns, they would put these like star type symbols. I'm picturing like a pentagram because a pentagram is protective and it is rooted in Celtic and Germanic mythology.
Right.
I don't want to say mythology because I actually ascribe to a bit of it. So it's very rooted in Celtic and Germanic pagan faith. And so I'm kind of picturing like a pentagram type situation. But they would actually paint this like on their barns on like the roofs to try and like ward off the Snallygaster.
Sounds like maybe what is it? Not like a wives' tale, but like a
Legend?
Yeah, local legend.
Like a local legend. Yeah. But there were eyewitness accounts of it. Like one person said that it had this quote, one person said it had, quote, enormous wings, a long pointed bill, claws like steel hooks, and an eye in the center of its forehead.
So they could see this crazy bird.
Purple people eater.
So it could see this detailed account of some crazy bird just kind of flying by. Like, how close was it?
I couldn't really find information on like the experience of the account. I mean, this was like early 1900s, so record keeping was what it was.
Like, to me, they probably just saw like some weird bird fly by.
I mean, but this was huge. I mean, they were saying that it was
like
the size of their barn.
The size of their barn?
Yeah, they would paint the pentagram on the top of the barn because like that's where it would land, and it would be like the size of like the roof of the barn. Like it would be like take up the whole roof. Like this was a massive critter.
That's crazy.
Right?
There aren't weird birds that are that huge.
I mean, it kind of gives me Thunderbird a little bit, which we might explore in a future First Nations lore episode, but it's giving me like, I'm thinking, well, no, but Thunderbird's bigger than that. Thunderbird's like massive, but it makes me think of almost, I'm visualizing in my head almost like the dragons in like the Game of Thrones world, the Westerosi sort of dragons, like how they would land on top of structures. That's kind of what I'm sort of envisioning here with this Snallygaster.
And even if that is like an exaggeration, some of the pictures that I saw had it at the very least big enough to pick up a cow.
Okay.
Yes.
So
It was known for taking livestock. Thank you for bringing that up because like Chupacabra, like with Chupacabra, like everyone's heard of the Chupacabra, but it's just known to sort of like drain the blood. This Joker didn't like come and like nibble on your livestock. It would pick them up and fly away. I mean, that's a pretty difficult thing to fake and explain. If your cow is flying away.
and it's got like no more like accounts of it. It was just like mainly the early 1900s people would.
There have been sort of like random sightings here and there since then, but it seems like with all these cryptids, they have like these periods of time where you see a lot of them and then they kind of fade out. And then they come in sort of waves,
Okay.
which would make sense if we're talking about like migratory patterns or things like that of an animal.
Right.
Snallygaster, though, this is wild.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. That's like the way that's described is literally unbelievable to me. Like
it really does.
That's not, and the picture like that is a Lovecraftian horror.
Right.
Like no, that's not. No.
It's like Lovecraft meets the Egyptian pantheon.
Yeah. Like
it also just goes to show that the depth of like specifically American folklore has not been explored enough in fiction.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's a crime.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
I want a story where someone has to tame and ride a Snallygaster. Get on it.
I'm working on it.
I'm working on my own stuff, but I don't do like this kind of writing.
I actually really love that. I really love that. And Snallygaster is like such a fun name.
It is. I want a Snallygaster tattoo, honestly.
Oh, yeah, it's really... Yeah, I think that would be a dope-ass tattoo. I mean,
Honestly,
perfectly honestly.
The more I think about it...
The Schnellergeist.
I'm getting a Snallygaster. Okay, but so that's a Snallygaster then?
That's a Snallygaster. I love me some Snallygaster.
All right, well, I'm gonna think on it and give you some rankings here.
So we've had quite a lot tonight. Why don't we do a quick recap?
Yeah, it works for me.
Okay, so first we had, of course, Bigfoot, the OG, the one everybody knows, and we talked a lot about. There's some significant evidence, and the validity of which, of course, is up to the beholder. Mothman, as we'll recall, that was another one that was sort of like seen in these short bursts. Champy or Champ, the Lake Champlain monster, which is sort of like the American Nessie. And then we have the Beast of Bray Road, which is essentially like Wolfman.
Right.
It's giving Wolfman, right?
Wolfman.
Okay, it's giving Wolfman. And then finally we had the Snallygaster.
Yes. All right, so I have my rankings for
You have your rankings.
How believable I believe these things.
All right. Hit us with your rankings, Chris.
Okay.
What do you think? So that's total between Bigfoot, Mothman, Snallygaster, Beast of Bray Road, and what was the other one?
Mothman.
No, not Mothman. Champ.
Yeah.
That's 5.
Yes.
So what's your number 5 spot?
At number 5, coming in at least believable, although I love her, it's the Snallygaster.
That's fair.
I mean,
I want her to be real.
I want her to be real. That is the craziest thing. That is so cool. But like that is otherworldly.
It really is.
Like the only thing you'd find that weird is like some deep sea ocean shit. Like, because there's some really weird little guys, and you want to talk about some unexplored phenomena. Like, oh my God. But yeah, so Snallygaster is gonna be my least believable.
Okay, poor Snally. Sally the Snally.
Sally the Snally. Next, I'm gonna say coming in at number 4 is gonna be Mothman.
Okay.
I think the both of your theories of local menace and military testing, like that just seems really obvious.
It's giving Falcon.
Yeah.
It's giving Falcon.
So that's definitely number 4. And then next up, I have a tie.
Okay.
Because I can do whatever the fuck I want. This is my ranking. So tied, I guess, at number 2 is gonna be Bigfoot and the Beast of Bray Road, just because I see similarly for both of them of like, I would not call that one singular creature or, some crazy man-shaped cryptid thing. Just probably more like some beefy critter that hasn't really been discovered. So we'll put those in for number 2. And at number 1, we have our American Nessie, the champ, because she is our champ.
We love Champy.
The fact that the the photo that we saw is even allegedly more legit than the Nessie, the famous Nessie photo, says a lot. I do go back to my problem.
It's very clear.
But I do go back to my problem of why is there only one?
We only ever see one at a time.
Why do we only ever see one at a time? Why? And same goes back to what we were talking about with Bigfoot as well. It's like, where's the feces? Where's the fossils?
Well, you're not really gonna find poop because it's in a lake.
But they would still make waste.
Yeah, they would still make waste. Like, there's still,
like, at the very least, we'd be able to see evidence of their diet.
Maybe. But again, if they're living primarily in caves deep down in a 400-foot deep or more, like in the case of Loch Ness, a body of water that is really murky and difficult to explore.
But they're still coming to the surface.
They are.
Yeah, and if it's 187 feet long, that's a lot of food
Very
that it has
specific.
to eat.
Yeah, no,
That's a lot of food that it has to eat.
Yeah. So, and if
where is it getting the food?
If it is coming to the surface, I would assume that it has something to do up there other than just have photo ops. Like, I'm sure it would be possibly hunting or something like that would bring it up to the surface.
Well, think about too, like the first person that discovered a freaking anaconda. Like, could you imagine hearing stories of this outrageous? Like, anacondas are, I'm not joking, like they can get like this big around.
Yeah, no, they're huge.
They're massive. And can you imagine hearing stories of this massive serpent? And people, I'm sure, didn't believe it was real until it was discovered and confirmed. But I don't know. I'm with you. I think that this is a species that we have not yet identified. I don't have as much of a trouble with the whole why do we see one at a time. I feel like that is explainable just based on like special behavior that we maybe just don't understand yet. But I can't really disagree with your rankings. The only thing that I would say is if it were up to me, I would say Beast of Bray Road at 3 and then Bigfoot, because I feel
because Bigfoot is so widely
it's so well documented. It's so well documented. Yeah. And because of where Bigfoot is, the forest is so dense and so poorly understood and really not truly explored thoroughly and mapped that I can't say that there's not something there. There's got to be something there. Beast of Bray Road, I don't know.
There has to be a creature that we have not yet discovered. I wouldn't venture to call it a Sasquatch. So yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Or feral people, like we talked about.
Or feral people,
or maybe both are true. Maybe both are true.
I have a feeling it's probably both.
I agree. I just don't feel like you can apply Occam's razor here. I feel like the most reasonable explanation, based on just how widespread these legends are, is that it's got to be at least one species we haven't identified, possibly more than one, and I definitely think there's like a feral people element too.
Well, the application of Occam's razor would dictate like the simplest explanation, which is people be lying.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the simplest explanation. I think the simplest explanation, you could argue about what the simplest explanation is. So Occam's razor is not always as sharp as we would like for it to be.
But now that I think about it, I hadn't thought about feral people in regards to the Beast of Bray Road.
Oh.
They be hairy, I would imagine. Well, so that it could just be some lanky motherfucker.
That's just Uncle Tommy.
Yeah.
Well, but think about it too. Like a lot of like First Nations, they would use like animal heads as like a ceremonial in ceremonial ways, like they would maybe don that. So is it possible that some of these people would do something similar?
With an animal
Not
head.
at all suggesting that there's any commonality between feral people and First Nations,
No.
but just saying like there are around the world that is something that is known to be done. So maybe people who are on the edge of quote unquote civilization, maybe that's just something that's intrinsic to human nature.
Could be. I mean,
to don these.
you're living
heads.
out there in the woods. You're still like an intelligent human being, so I'm sure you've got your own culture and your
Mhm.
own everything that
Right.
would be obviously incredibly different from how we live our lives.
Mhm.
So yeah, I could definitely honestly, I would go so far as to say that feral people knock down the Beast of Bray Road just because that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Like that to me is like a pretty clear explanation as to like what's going on. Because also 12-inch footprints, that's not really that big. The foot is named after the size of somebody's foot.
Right.
So,
well, a size 12 men's shoe is 12 inches.
Oh, is it? Because I wear a size 12.
I believe so.
So am I fucking
I wear a
Beast
6.
of Bray Road? But yeah, so that actually, now that I've had that thought solidly knocks that down to 3.
I believe it is. You know what? Let's look that up because I don't want to be spreading out some misinformation here.
Well, you already did when you said that Nessie was real. I'm just kidding.
How many inches is this? 12 shoe.
Specifically U.S. men.
A men's U.S. size 12 shoe is approximately 11 inches.
So
a 13.
A 13, 14 would be, yeah. So yeah.
My pawpaw had size 16 feet. So he had like 14, 15-inch feet. So 12-inch feet's not really that big, all things
It's really
considered.
not. My husband wears like a 12 and a half. And I mean, yeah, his feet are roughly a foot long. So that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like just a normal, like, and he's 6 feet tall. So like a 6 foot tall man's shoe, I mean, that would make sense for feral people.
Honestly, the more we talk about feral people, I almost want to fucking move Beast of Bray Road even further. Like, what are we talking about? Those are just some hairy guys.
Possibly donning animal skins.
Possibly, yeah.
I never thought about the animal skins before. That could also explain Sasquatch too, you know, if they're using animal skins. Although where would they get something that looks like a primate?
Plus,
it could be bear skins, and then they just cover their faces.
But there are so many accounts that are very clearly like, this was not a bear. There was nothing about it that was bear. So that's
there's also no known primate species native to North America.
Exactly,
yeah.
including us.
Yeah, girl. I do think with Bigfoot there still is the aspect of the unidentified furs and everything. So that's all
that doesn't match.
Which hey, let's fucking jumble all the theories together. Feral people wearing the skins of animals that we haven't yet discovered.
I think that's totally viable. That totally makes sense. It totally makes sense. Yeah. I don't think that this is so much a supernatural explanation. I think that cryptids are so interesting because what is so fascinating about them is not the fact that they're like paranormal, or it's the fact that their likelihood that we just don't understand these species yet and have not necessarily been able to sort of nail down what they are. They're just that I think that at some point we will figure out what these are. We just haven't gotten there yet.
And so we're doing like I talked about earlier, where we're trying to take what we do know and apply some sort of label or categorization that might not necessarily be accurate to it. Yeah. Just so we can make our own little monkey brains understand it better.
Well said. So. Well said. But as we know, Champy's our champ.
You're our champy, girly.
Here's to you, champ. Mm. Mm-hmm. Also, a shot of Frangelico doesn't suck. Yeah. It's like drinking Nutella.
Ooh, just get some chocolate.
Well, it doesn't really have the chocolate. Oh, yes. I'm feeling a holiday cocktail of some sort coming on.
You know what? Absolutely, like harebrained cocktail I typically will drink if I'm feeling something very out of the ordinary. Screwball and grape soda.
Oh, peanut butter
Screwball?
jelly.
Yeah, peanut butter and
What's
jelly.
Screwball?
Screwball is peanut butter whiskey.
Oh, peanut butter jelly time.
Peanut
Where you
butter
at?
jelly time.
Where
Peanut butter
you
jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. What a big spunk back.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?
There
Where you at? Now, there you
is.
go.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
There.
Peanut butter jelly.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was all so much copyright.
Is that copyrighted?
Yeah. If it's a music, if it's a music.
It was a dancing
it's a-
banana in like the late 90s.
If it was a song released by an artist, it's copyrighted
That's fair.
until they've been dead for 35 years. So,
Wow.
Unless their estate has anything to say about it. Marvin Gaye.
yeah. But yeah. So there, speaking of Screwball, there is this cocktail I really want to try. This is not my recipe, although I really wish I could claim ownership of it. Where it's a pad thai martini, where they took Screwball peanut butter whiskey, a little bit of oyster sauce, a little bit of fish sauce, some lime juice, and then they took like a leek and they split it, and you're supposed to sniff it while you drink. Very beautiful sounding pad thai martini. Shout out Tommy Bow from Smosh. You did that.
That is so creative.
I wish that was me.
It does not sound like my thing, but I would be willing to try it.
I want to try it so bad.
So,
Same.
well, I think that's all for us today.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
No. I was gonna try and come up with something clever, but this is where we're at. So,
Yep.
no.
Just remember, if you are out in the mountains and you hear whistling, no the fuck you didn't.
Yeah,
No, you
no,
didn't. No, you didn't. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for joining us today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If there's something you'd like for us to do in the future.
If there's a cryptid that we did not cover that you'd like to see us talk about, methinks there will be a part 2, because there's 8,000 billion different cryptids and local lores and everything like that.
Especially if there's one local to your area that maybe isn't as well known, shoot us an email at spiritsontherockspod@gmail.com. That's all there is for us today.
So take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.